Good afternoon and welcome back to Bowl TV for the B squad of the men's singles competition at the 2015 World Bowling Senior Championships, live from Sam's Town Bowling Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Aaron Smith of USBC Communications. I'll be here all day bringing you the action and keeping you up to date on the standings as we figure out who's going to advance to the semifinal and final round later tonight, possibly take home a gold medal for their country. A squad finished up about an hour and a half ago, so we'll go over the standings in just a few minutes. But right now, we are in game number 1 of 6 of qualifying, joined by New Zealand, Virgin Islands on 31 and 32, along with Paraguay and Russia on 33 and 34. Over on 35 and 36, which you can kind of see at least the part of the approach on 35, and you can see the ball going down on each lane. The U.S. squad is over there, featuring Bob Learn Jr. and Ron Moore. So we'll keep you up to date as we make our way through the 6-game block. For more information on the event, visit worldbowling.org. and find your way to the Senior Championships links. We are once again on the 44-foot London pattern for singles competition. So we'll get into that more, so everyone sit tight, get cozy, and we are underway. Thanks for joining. All right, as we settle into game number 1, just a few quick information points for everybody in case you didn't tune in this morning. We are behind lanes 31 through 34 here at Samstown, so we're at the mercy of the schedule as to who we view each match. But if you are interested in following a particular team, you can follow them on the live scoring application. You can find below the video in the description area. There's a link to that. You can scroll through pair to pair and see how everyone is doing. We also have the link to the standings there as well. Through the standings link, you can find actually the lane schedule for everybody and see where they're going to next. So definitely a few options there. We mentioned the results from A squad. John Chapman, who was on our feature pair in Game 6, is the clubhouse leader, hoping to hold on to one of the 4 semifinal spots with a total of 1325 for his 6 games earlier today. So just over a 220 average. Sitting in second with a big final 2 games, Lenny Borsch of the United States, finishing with 258 and 234 to get to 1270. He edged out Sean Cummings out of Australia, who's in third with 1267, and sitting in fourth out of the Netherlands, Ron Vanden Bogaard with 1257. So as of right now, those are the only 4 bowlers from A squad eligible to make it to the semifinals. We'll have to wait and see what happens in B squad. A lot of these folks were here earlier in the day checking everything out, kind of seeing how this 44-foot pattern was playing, and seeing what the moves were from game to game, seeing maybe how deep people were getting or what kind of bowling balls or surfaces were getting used out there. So we'll see if the scoring pace goes up, stays the same, or possibly even goes down here in the second block. But right now, 1257, the number to make the semifinals. So we will give you an update as information becomes available after each game. So the scores have been updating pretty quickly. They usually update on site here first, then just a few minutes later online. Once again, for more information on the World Bowling Senior Championships, you can go directly to the World Bowling Senior Championships page, 2015 WSRC.worldbowling.org. From there you can pull up results, see the schedule, even see the participants. A lot of great information on the site, so please check it out. And of course, you can also find links to the standings as well as the online scoring there, which we've provided also here on Bowl TV. And of course, the qualifying games here today, not only important to see who advances in singles, but also sets up for all events and masters later in the week. All events will consist of the qualifying totals from singles, doubles, and team event. So a total of 18 games will determine the medalists for all events, on both the men's and women's side. And for masters, the top 24 scores for both the men and the women will advance to some bonus bowling for that. Masters format includes 6 additional games to determine the top 8. Followed by that round robin to determine the top 4. We'll have all of that here live on Bowl TV with wire-to-wire coverage. Of course, if you miss any of the action, feel free to check out the archive, youtube.com/BowlTV. The videos usually upload shortly after each of the broadcasts wrap up, usually probably about a half hour or so. So we'll have a lot of bowling here. So if you can't catch it all, be sure to check it out on archive later on. Right now, still early on in the B squad, middle of game 1. So we'll kind of keep track of the scoring pace as things progress and kind of give everyone a countdown to that number the best we can. The semifinals and finals will take place pretty shortly afterwards. I'll have to do a quick re-oil. We'll have to move the cameras around a little bit, but that's scheduled to start at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. Question about seeing other pairs on the live stream. Unfortunately, we're kind of stuck here behind 31 through 34. It's a 56-lane center here, so only got a few cameras. So we're doing our best to get as many bowlers as we can going throughout the day. For some of the semifinal rounds, we might have to swing over to 29 and 30 or 35 and 36. But this is going to be the main pair, so if you can find the lane schedule, be sure to check that out when they're coming to 31 through 34. Tomorrow's competition, or tomorrow's live stream, I should say, will feature the women competitors. They have less bowlers overall in the field, so it's just going to be one squad, and then we'll go into the semifinal and final rounds. We'll also have the A squad for men's doubles to wrap up the day tomorrow. So it's kind of what's on tap for the next 2 days here on Bowl TV. If you happen to be in the Las Vegas area and would like to see some of the top senior players from across the world, please be sure to swing by Sam's Town, free of charge, to check out the event. Already had some good crowds the past few days for the opening ceremonies and earlier today. Hoping for a big showing, not only here, but online as well for the championship round. So be sure to stick around a little bit afterwards. We saw the scoring pace start off pretty slow on the 44-foot London pattern during Squad A. Looking over a pair to our right, we have Sweden and United States competing on 35 and 36. Krister Peterson will be stepping up in a second. He opened in the first frame, but has come back with 6 strikes in a row. He's going to look to make it 7 in just a minute on our, we'll catch him in the very right portion of our viewing area here. Some solid performances so far on our feature pairs as well. Peterson leaves the 9-pin over on 35 to end his string of strikes. 250 still out there. Oleg Kozyrev is getting ready to step up on 33. He's clean so far through 7, working on a double. Trying to make it 3 in a row here early going. For the United States over on 35 and 36, Bob Learn Jr. struggling early on. Still looking for his first strike. They're getting ready for the 9th frame. Bob will be stepping up. Ron Moore, on the other hand, sparing the first 3-bagger, 6 spare, and another 3-bagger, so he still has 2 60s out there. Ron was the silver medal winner at the 2013 World Bowling Senior Championships. He's the only returning player from the men's team that year. Ron fell to Krister Danielsson of Sweden, who took home the gold. Krister Peterson, who's competing right now in 35 and 36, took home the bronze medal. So both of them off to strong starts, looking to better their performances here in 2015. Roger Tucker of New Zealand can get to 203 with one more strike here in the 10th. His fellow countryman Terry Mushkin can get to 200 on the nose with 3 strikes of his own. Make enough for a few early opens. Valencio Jackson of the Virgin Islands still gets to 205. But the 4-6 will drop his max score. Still in the 190s, so for Sweden over on 35 and 36. Jan Nordberg getting ready to step up. He can max out in the 10th for 2:14. Krister Peterson still has a chance at 2:58. Definitely seeing some bigger scores out of the gates here, it looks like. I want to thank everyone for joining us here live on Bowl TV. We've had some good crowds, both squads so far, and we're going to be here all week. I am Aaron Smith of USBC Communications, bringing you all the action here from Las Vegas at Sam's Town Bowling Center. Excited for my first World Bowling event behind the cameras. I'm looking forward to the next 6 days, bringing you tons of coverage here. We're going to have wire-to-wire broadcasts. So be sure to have Bowl TV nearby at all times. Four in a row for Oleg Kozyrev of Russia. He's going to have a chance to have a nice start as well here. .249 still out there. Already done on 31 and 32, so New Zealand and the Virgin Islands will move on to their next pair, and we'll have a handful of new bowlers in game number 2. Once again, this is a 6-game block. And for those of you, I can see him talking about the live scoring in the chat room. If you're looking for that link, just scroll down a little bit further into the description area. Click on the link for live scoring. That'll if you have a particular player or country you'd like to follow, you can follow along right there. And we'll also have the standings update as well as soon as it makes itself available. They've been updating pretty quick after everyone finishes up. I appreciate the kind words in the chat, Steve Ford. Although you never know, we'll see. Hopefully, no Wiseman jinx coming from me with Lucas. Lucas will actually be heading to Detroit for the PWBA Tour Detroit Open. That'll be Friday and Saturday on Extra Frame. So if you're not joining us here, please keep Lucas some company as the top female players from around the world look to take home a title. So a lot of great opportunities to watch bowling here all across several platforms, and we're happy you joined us here today. Oleg came in a little bit light, leaving the 2.45. No problem on the spare, though. He's going to be in the 220s. Krister Peterson finishes up with a 2.38. And 2.23 for Kozyrev, as game number 1 is in the books here. So as the bowlers move around and get ready for game number 2, everybody hang tight. We'll be back on it in just a few moments. So thanks again for joining us here at the 2015 World Bowling Senior Championships, live from the Samstown Bowling Center in Las Vegas.
And I'll come down and get that.
All right, wasting no time getting into game 2. Over on 31 and 32. Looks like we actually have a few pacers for the field. Just keep everything on time. So their scores are not part of the competition. They're just kind of keeping everything rolling right along. But they're being joined by Puerto Rico. And over on 33 and 34, we have China and Norway. Looks like we also have a pacer on 33 and 34 too, so a few folks getting a cool opportunity to compete with players from across the world here. Two great shots to start off for Edgardo Ruiz out of Puerto Rico. Big contingent from Puerto Rico here on hand to cheer on these bowlers too. So if we get a few strikes, we're gonna get some loud cheers as well. So very cool. Once again, have a pretty good crowd on hand here. Watching the action unfold live here at Sam's Town. All right, as soon as we get the standings up here for the B squad, we'll give you an update of how game one went across the board. For those of you looking to follow a particular country or particular bowler, once again, we have the live scoring option available here. The link is just below the video. in the description area, so be sure to click on that. We also have the standings list there, and of course, you can find that and more at worldbowling.org. Alrighty, we're cruising here on game number 2. As we have Puerto Rico, Norway, and China represented here on our feature pairs, along with a few pacers. We're kind of just keeping everything on time, so pairs aren't finishing any quicker than the other ones. So. Norway's Arndt Chesbu starting off with the first 5 here in game 2. He's going to be up in a second on lane 33. Still waiting for the results to update online. So once again, as soon as those become available, I will let you know. All right, here is Arndt in the 6th. Never doubt. Front 6. Now they have the, for those of you just tuning in for this block, the running totals are in the top right-hand corner of the player's scoreboard, if you will. So it looks like Arndt went 181 in the opening game. So he still has a 0 total for this game so far. If he happens to miss, then the numbers would add up there. But for now, so far so good. All right, looks like we have some scores up now online here, so you can check those out by clicking on the link in the description area, clicking on Squad 2. Mika Oksanen out of Finland leading the way with a big 264 to start off. In the opening squad, we saw a high game of 225 after one. Have a total of 7 players ahead of that pace already. Sweden's Christer Peterson is second early on with 238. Todd Sim out of Canada, 233. Also with 233, Lowell Ellis out of England. And USA's Ron Moore with 232. He was matched by Yanaro Kleps out of Chile with 232. Total of 18 players, plus or better. So definitely a change of pace here compared to what we saw early on in the A squad. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. We'll get to see it right here on Bowl TV. 13:25 was the leading total for 6 games in the A squad. That was John Chapman out of Canada, averaging just over 220 for his set. USA's Lenny Borsch was sitting in second, 1270. Sean Cummings out of Australia, 1267. And Ron van den Boogaard out of the Netherlands, 1257. Rounded out the top 4. After the B squad is done, we'll look at all the scores, and the top 4 will advance to the championship round. They'll be starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Right here on Bowl TV, we'll have both semifinal matches going. There'll be 1-game matches to determine who makes the finals. So if you weren't in the top 4 in A squad, unfortunately your day is already done. But with these big scores early on, you got to wonder how it's going to shape up. 1257 kind of seems attainable here with some of the big numbers early on in the B squad, so we'll have to wait and see. Kespo's run of strikes ends at 6, misses the head pin right in the 7th frame. Still off to a strong start here. No problem on the spare. Once again, the 2015 World Bowling Senior Championships features competitors from 33 different countries who have made their way to Las Vegas, Nevada to try to bring home a few medals back to their country. Competitors will square off in singles, doubles, team, all events, and masters competition on both the men's and women's side. The ladies will kick off with their singles event tomorrow starting at 8:30 a.m. local time here in Las Vegas, 11:30 Eastern. Countries were allowed to bring up to 4 players on each the men's and women's side. Some countries do have less, though. Part of the reason why we see a few pacers here on our feature pairs. Tony Santa and Edgardo Ruiz finishing up for Puerto Rico on lanes 31 and 32 in the 10th. Tony takes care of the 3-6-10. Edgardo can still get to 230 with 3 big strikes in the 10th. Shen delivers the strike in the 9th frame for China. He shot 224 in his opening match, can still get to 204, so looking to add on to that plus total. Arnt Kespo bounces back after the open in the 8th with a strike in the 9th. Can still get to 253. Ruiz finishes up with a 208 for Puerto Rico. So we're all done on 31 and 32 for game 2. Still have some 9th and 10th frame action to go on 33 and 4. Some excitement there from Chen as he delivers the first strike in the 10th.
Anything else to bring down, or is that everything?
Another strike for Kespo. Good count will put him in the 250s. Mark at 253. Great game there. Puts him at 434 after 2, so back in the plus. As we have our final shots here in game number 2. Just want to say thank you again to everyone for joining us here today on Bowl TV for the 2015 World Bowling Senior Championships. I'm Eric Smith with USBC Communications, bringing you the action live from Sam's Town in Las Vegas, Nevada. We'll be here all week for the 2015 event. The World Bowling Senior Championships debuted in 2013, also in Las Vegas. Where both the United States and Sweden proved to be the dominant countries on the men's side. Christer Danielsson won this event in 2013 from Sweden. He also helped his country take home the gold medal in the team event. Hugh Miller and Ron Moore of the United States took the doubles title. Moore also took the gold medal in all events. He's the only returning player on the men's side, while Hugh Miller took the Masters gold medal in 13. All right, on lane 31, we actually have two different countries represented here. Austria is Robert Robar. And stepping up, Yanaro Claps of Chile. They're joined by the Dominican Republic. 31 and 32. Still having bowlers get over to 33 and 34, so they'll be starting in a second. Looks like we'll have Venezuela and Netherlands on 33 and 34 here in Game 3. Once again, as we move pairs here, if there is a particular country or bowler you'd like to follow, be sure to check out the live scoring link below in the description area. We also have the standings link available as well. This is the B squad. We've already had A squad earlier today. Nearly 120 bowlers on the men's side competing here today. And the top 4 will advance to the semifinals, which will be right here on Bowl TV later today. Semifinals will be 1-game matches and will be immediately followed by the finals. So we will have our medalists determined for men's singles by the end of the day. The women will start their competition tomorrow. So a lot of excitement to look forward to over the course of the next 6 days here at Sam's Town and on Bowl TV. All right, we're hitting the middle of the block. Game number 3 of 6 here in the B squad for the men's singles portion of the World Bowling Senior Championships. From the A squad, the top 4 scores, 1325, 1270, 1267, and 1257 are the numbers these competitors are looking to beat to get into the semifinal round later tonight. John Chapman of Canada led the way with that 1325, averaging slightly more than 220 in his 6-game block. Lenny Borsch of the United States had a big finish to get to 1270. Sean Cummings out of Australia, 1267. And Ron Vanden Bogaard out of the Netherlands had the 1257. So those guys are playing the waiting game right now to see how the scores on B squad shape up. They just started to scroll across here on site. Krister Peterson, 475 after 2. Mika Oksanen in second, 470. Ron Moore, 467 in third. Lowell Ellis, 438. So those are some of the scores early on here. So it seems like the scoring pace maybe a little bit higher here in the second block. All bowlers competing on the 44-foot London pattern. So the lanes were re-oiled during the break. So most of the teams were split up, having 2 competitors bowl the A squad and 2 in the B squad, so I'm sure a lot of information got passed along to the folks bowling the later squad. Communication, always a key in the sport of bowling, especially in a team atmosphere like this where you're trying to all work together to try to bring a title home. Medals are on the line in singles, doubles, team, all events, and masters competition on both the men's and women's side. All right, the scores have updated online, so feel free to check those out as well. Krister Peterson leading this block from Sweden. He won the bronze medal in singles back in 2013. Very consistent effort so far. Games at 238 and 237. Put him at 475, so well ahead of the pace we saw in the first round. Finland's Mika Oksanen, 264 and 206, put him at 470. Ron Moore, who took home the silver medal at the 2013 event in the singles competition. 232, 235 for 467. Lowell Ellis out of England at 233, 205 for 438. And we just saw him shoot 253 on our feature pair last game. Norway's Arndt Kesbu. Games of 181 and 253 for 434. Rounds out the top 5. So looking at that average-wise right now, only John Chapman would advance from the A squad if these players keep up these averages. That's yet to be seen, of course. A lot of bowling still left to be done, so can certainly go in either direction, but All right, getting ready to step up on lane 32. Hilton Nunez has struck on all but one shot so far, had an open in the third frame, and has rattled off 5 strikes in a row. Representing the Dominican Republic. Looking to see if he can add one more here. Comes in high and finds trouble. Staring down a 4-7-10. Hilton started with games of 165 and 191 so far. Total of 14 players plus or better through 2 games. On the second squad here. Only had a total of 7 players on the A squad finish the day plus. So Hilton can still get to 230 despite the open. They'll need to do some work to catch up to the rest of the squad. All right, stepping up on 33 from Venezuela, Arturo Hernandez from Venezuela. He's working on 3 in a row. He, along with Lucy Sandlin from the United States, gave the athlete's oath to help kick off this year's World Bowling Senior Championships during the opening ceremonies yesterday. The opening ceremony is a pretty cool event. Pretty simple, but a great way to showcase it off everyone before competition starts off, and Arturo delivers 4 in a row. Definitely a very cool experience yesterday, getting to see all the countries up here. Had a few brief speeches from a few folks as well. President of World Bowling Kevin Dornberger, along with our tournament manager Martine Fava, welcoming the bowlers. We had them all march out across the approaches. Definitely a cool experience to get to witness. And but now it's on to the competition. All right, here's Hilton's first shot of the 10th. Looking to get back on track after the open in the 9th. Unable to get the 10 to cooperate. So it's 220 out there, though. Another great shot from Hernandez on 34. Makes it 5 in a row. Setting up the 10th. .216 finish for Hilton Nunez of the Dominican Republic to lead the way on 31 and 32 in game 3. So kick off the 10th frame on 33 and 34. Just once again, thank you everyone for joining us here for the 2015 World Bowling Senior Championships live at Sam's Town Bowling Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Aaron Smith with USBC Communications bringing you the action this week. So we'll award medals in singles, doubles, team, all events, and masters competition on both the men's and women's side. We have more than 200 participants from 33 countries competing here this week. Top senior players from around the world making their way to Vegas. So we appreciate the continued support here on Bowl TV. And in case you miss any of the action along the way, each round is going to be archived on youtube.com/BowlTV. So feel free to check those out later on if you'd like. Some excitement coming over from lanes 29 and 30. Some cheering for the team from England. We have a big support group here. Hernandez cleans up the spare for Venezuela. It's going to be in the 220s. .226 for Arturo Hernandez. Carlos Mesa finishes up with 178. And Henry Von Steenis will wrap up game 3 for us here in just a sec. Unable to make it 3 in a row, but can convert the 3-6-10 to get to 180. Once again, if you would like to find the standings so far for the men's singles competition, feel free to scroll down a little bit below the video here, and there's actually a link to the standings so far. And as soon as they update through game 3, I'll let you know as well. And if there's a particular player or country you'd like to follow, you also have the live scoring link available there as well. And of course, go to worldbowling.org. It's the official site of World Bowling and their tournaments. So we're all wrapped up here with game number 3. So we're going to take a quick break as the competitors move to their assigned lanes for game number 4. So we're moving right along here. Already halfway done with B squad. So as soon as our competitors get here, we'll be heading right into the action of game number 4. So everybody hang tight. We'll be right back here on Bowl TV. Thanks again for joining. All right, game 4 underway on our feature pairs. On 31 and 32, we have the Czech Republic and Mexico joining us. And over on 33 and 34, it is Israel and Scotland. Big score jumping out right now from what I can see up there. Scotland's Alan Keaty. Looks like he's sitting at 662 for 3 games so far, so averaging more than 220 up to this point. We'll get to see Alan step up just a second on lane 34. Score is definitely looking a little bit higher in the early going here in the second squad. As soon as those scores become available after 3, I will let you know. Looks like they're up here on site. Keaty is actually our leader right now with 662. USA's Ron Moore, 660. Lowell Ellis, 659. So those are the top 3 scores from the B squad. So it seemed like the pace slowed down a little bit in game 3, so kind of interesting how that's worked. Game 3, game 4 was kind of where we saw a few folks jump in the A squad, so. Keaty was at 427 after 2 games, so. He put together a nice 230 plus effort in game 3. All right, scores have already popped up online for the B squad as well, so it's a pretty tight, pretty much from the 11th spot on, not too far away. Handful of players in the 640s and 630s. Christer Peterson of Sweden, who was our Game 2 leader, found some trouble in Game 3. Was only able to muster up 166 to put him at 641. Dropped him all the way down to 6th place. Finland's Mika Oksanen, who was sitting in 2nd after 2. Finish up with 178 in Game 3, dropped him back to 4th. As Keaty delivers the double. He's gotten stronger every game so far. 204, 223, 235 in the books at the halfway point. Question in the chat whether any of the Canadian players will make it to the live stream pair in this block, and I'm afraid they're going to be very close to it, but not quite make it to 31 through 34 here in round number 2. So sorry to disappoint on that level. You can still follow along with the live scoring. Find a link to that in the description area below the video. All right, good question in the chat about, at least for the men's side here, the oldest competitor. And from the program book that they have here on site, looks like Argentina's Orlando Izulino is competing at the age of 77. So that's pretty awesome. So big props to Orlando for still representing his country in style here this year. The Australian contingent in full force here as well. Make it 4 in a row for our B squad leader. Alan Keaty rolling along for Scotland. Looking to punch his ticket into the semifinals tonight. Ivan Burian of the Czech Republic off to a nice start here in game number 4, 4 out of the first 5. Just delivered another strike on 31. Alejandro Sanchez delivers for Mexico on 32. All right, a few strikes, a few pairs to our left. It looks like on 27 and 28. Andrew Frawley of Australia and Oleg Kozarev, both starting with the front 5. So if you want to keep track of them, be sure to check out the live scoring app. Hope everyone can hear that back home. Great, great support there for the Australians. Having the fans come out here supporting their country and their bowlers. Very cool. We won't see any of their players cross here on our feature pair during the B squad, but you never know if one of them starts striking enough to make it to the semifinal round. We could be in for a good time. As Frawley makes it 6 in a row. Alan Keaty still rolling here on our feature pair. From Scotland, our B squad leader through 3 games. Katie gets to the pocket in the 6th frame, but does not get the 7-pin to cooperate. Still in great shape to add a few more pins. Onto his plus total here as he looks to get into the semifinals. Average-wise, he's already on pace. But still has 2 games to go after this. Another eruption from the Australian contingent means Andrew Frawley up to the front 7. That name sounds familiar. It's because Frawley made a PBA Tour show back in 2008 at the Denny's World Championship. Ended up losing to Ryan Schaefer in the semifinal round. Schaefer just captured a title earlier this week up in Delaware. Frawley, where was he at? Frawley was sitting at 623 for 3 games. So definitely around, it's going to be around the number here. See the first miscue from Alan Keaty. Unable to convert the bucket. Still can get to 254 this game. Four in a row for Manuel Garcia. Of Mexico. Make it 8 in a row for Andrew Frawley over on 27 and 28. We are in game number 4 of 6 in men's singles here at the 2015 World Bowling Senior Championships. Alan Keaty from Scotland is leading the squad so far. Australia's Andrew Frawley looking to take over that place, though, bowling a few pairs to our left. As the front 7, or front 8, excuse me. The top 4 scores after A and B squad are complete will advance to the semifinal round. So just 4 out of nearly 120 competitors make it to the semifinal round. So all right, here's Keaty trying to set up the 9th frame. Delivers. Great shot to set up the 10th. Can still get to 244. Might get real loud here in a second if Andrew Frawley makes it the front 9. Sends a messenger at the 10, falls just short. So Frawley covers up the 10 pin in the 9th. He can still get to 279 and get to plus 100. So he's going to put himself in great position to possibly make a run here at the top 4. Top 4 scores from the A squad: 1325, 1270, 1267, and 1257. A few of those definitely looking in jeopardy here as we hit the home stretch. All right, Alan Keaty of Scotland finishes up with a 222. It's another nice game, a solid performance so far through four, 204, 223, 235, and a 222. That'll put him at plus 84. Frawley has yet to step up in the 10th, so we'll have to wait and see what his ending total is. So he could actually move ahead of Keaty. Not sure what anyone else has done on the squad outside of our feature pairs, so as soon as they update through 4, we'll let you know. As we are through with 4 on our feature pairs, lanes 31 through 34 at Samstown. So everybody hang tight. Game 5 will be starting in just a minute or two here at the 2015 World Bowling Senior Championships. I'm Aaron Smith. Thanks for tagging along. 2 more games left to go before we know who makes the semifinals. So everybody hang tight. We'll be right back.
Out there on the wild, wild web. How many viewers?
All right, game number 5 is going to be underway in just a second. Looks like we have Paraguay and the Ukraine on 31 and 32, along with the United States and the Virgin Islands here on 33 and 34. So.
Am I in the way if I stand right here? No. I'm really not in the way of much since I'm so short.
My phone wasn't letting me. Oh, sorry. My phone wasn't letting.
All right, Ron Moore with the big score out of this group joining us here on Bowl TV. 864 after 4 games, so just ahead of a 2:16 pace so far. So depending on how a few other folks shaped up, we'll see where Ron is sitting in the standings, and as soon as they become available. Frawley up to 891, Keedy 884, Todd Sim from Canada 881. And then there's more at 864, so still some big numbers on this squad. So it's definitely going to be a race to the finish. All right, a handful of players average-wise ahead of the pace to make the top 4, so it's definitely going to be interesting as we get down to these final few games. Game 5 of 6. Frawley with a big 268 in Game 4 to jump ahead of the B squad standings, averaging nearly 223. Keedy just a few pins behind at a 221 pace. Bob Learn Jr. was pretty rough out of the gates. He's bounced back the past 3 games, but at 721, he's probably going to be outside the bubble unless he can manage a humongous finish here. Start off with a strike to kick things off. But right now, a total of 11 players plus in the B squad. Frawley, Keedy, Todd Sim at 881. Ron Moore, 4th on the squad with 864. Marcio Vieira from Brazil, 855. Lowell Ellis, 847 from England in 6th. Mika Oksanen out of Finland, 840. In 8th, Vladimir Podorochin from Russia, 8:27. I see John Chapman in attendance, our A squad leader. Possibly nervously awaiting the results game by game. To seeing if his leading total from A squad was enough to hold on. John finished with 13:25, which is a 220 clip. We currently have 3 players at or above a 220 clip on B squad, so that would be our 4 competitors for the semifinals at this juncture. Still 2 games to go. All right, here's a look at Ron Moore stepping up. Moore, the only returning player for the U.S. from the 2013 World Bowling Senior Championships. Claimed gold medals in doubles with Hugh Miller and in all events. Came out of the gates pretty strong today with a pair of 230 games. Slowed down a bit in games 3 and 4, 193 and 204. So right now he is hovering right outside of the top 4. So we'll get to see him set up for the finale. Nice shot there from Gonzalo Martin of Paraguay. Bounced back after the open. Bobler throws some wood around in the third. 2 out of 3 strikes for Bob. Bob found some success earlier this month in Hammond, Indiana at the PBA 50 South Shore doubles. Ended up claiming the title with DJ Archer. Bob owns 5 tour titles, including the 1999 US Open and 2001 Japan Cup. Moore unable to get the corner pins out to start game 5. Pair of 10 pins on 33 and a 7 pin on 34 so far. Ron, an 8-time PBA 50 Tour titleist. And no problem on the single pin. For those of you just joining us, if you want to take a look at the standings, feel free to scroll down a little bit and click on the link in the description area. Or you can also go to worldbowling.org and find your way through to the World Senior Championships page. The direct link to that is 2015 WSRC.worldbowling.org. And from there you can find results, schedule, the participants' information, and more. We're competing on the 44-foot London pattern for singles today. Over on 35 and 36. We have the Canadian team of Todd Sim and Ray Vervnik. Both still in contention. Sim in third place, 881. Vervnik at 813. Both have started with the first three. They're cruising right along on 31 and 32. They actually only have 3 bowlers as they have a blind score up there. As Moore delivers his first strike at game 5. Looked like a ball change there for Ron to create a little bit different look. Get away from those pesky corner pins. Nice shot by Yuri Greennik of the Ukraine, still clean through 7. Looking further down the standings, Christer Peterson from Sweden, who was our B squad leader after 2 games, all the way down to 790 in 14th place. Transition has not been kind to him. Games of 166 and 149. Once again, Andrew Frawley of Australia up on top, 891 through 4 games for B squad. All looking to chase down the 1325 posted by John Chapman of Canada earlier today in the A squad. It's a better shot from Bob. He's perfect on lane 33. Some struggles on 34 though.
guess who gets the puppies? You do. Crazy puppies.
All right, the ball change for Moore has worked so far. It's delivered a double. Right now on the outside looking in for the semifinal. But gets the break on the high hit to make it 3 in a row. All right, Bob starting to settle down. 3 in a row for himself. They're already getting ready for the 10th frame on 31-32. Definitely moving along quickly here. So we'll probably just have the action going on 33 and 34 for a little bit. Vincent Evanson gets the hit for the Virgin Islands. And a second high hit in the row does not get the 9-pin to fall for Ron Moore. Still at a good pace here in game number 5. But still maybe playing catch up to a few of the other players in the field right now. No problem on the spare. So 247 max score still available for the 2-time PBA 50 Player of the Year. They're just a pair away. He's looking at Todd Sim of Canada, who has 5 out of the first 6, who's already ahead of him. So max score 279 still. So we'll keep an eye on him as well. Sim with games of 233, 192, 222, and 234 for an 881 total. See Sim entering your screen to the right. Gets the strike in the 7th. Learn looked down as soon as he released that one, so not sure if he stuck at the line, but staring down the 3, 4, 6, 7, 10. Bob gets 4 of them, unable to get the 7 to fall though. Moore bounces back with a strike in the 8th frame. All right, 31 and 32, all complete with game 5. Those gentlemen will move on to their next pair, and we will wait for our next competitors to make their way here. Question about how Lowell Ellis is doing. Lowell currently sitting in 6th place for the B squad with 847 after 4 games. The top 4 scores after the completion of A and B squad will determine who advances to the semifinal round at 5 p.m. local time here, so just about an hour and 20 minutes away. These games have gone pretty quickly throughout the day, usually right around a half hour per game, so they'll have time to double check all the numbers. Get the lanes re-oiled. They'll get the opportunity to move some cameras around. Todd Sims struck in the 8th, so he is still on cruise control. So Ron Moore trying to play catch up here. Getting ready in the 9th. Great shot to set up 10th frame. 240 still out there. You're going to see Todd Sim entering the picture in just a second here. He's going to be up on lane 35. Still has 279 out there. This will be his 9th frame. There it is. Vervnik also has only missed once so far for the Canadian squad. He had a split though in the 4th frame, so he can max out 265. He'll be up next over on 35. Ray gets the strike on 35, so I'm thinking Team Canada is wishing they were saving this for doubles. That'd be a humongous game. But still looking to do some work here, of course. Not only are they working on their singles totals, but also working their way towards all events. Qualifying from singles, doubles, and team event will determine the medalists in all events. So 6 games in each event. A total of 18 games will determine who takes home those medals. And then the top 24 will advance to the Masters on both the men's and women's side. All right, thank you, Michael Snow. I need all the help I can get with a few of these names. So, Ray Vervink, my apologies. Thank you for the help with that, and by all means, if anyone in the chat notices me mispronouncing a name, please pass it along. I'm gonna guess that that eruption of applause was for Todd Sim. With the way the scoreboards change, a little tough to see. But he is up on 36 in the 10th frame now. Still looking to post 279. Ron Moore walks it out, but able to get it back strong enough to mix him up. Could have been a few more pins, so probably thankful to have the 9 count up there. Doesn't hurt the count as much either. That's going to drop his total to 220, or his max total to 226. So depending on how a few of the other folks ahead of him did this game, Ron might need a big finish. Sim leaves the 10 pin. So that'll put him into the 260s. Conversion will be 268, so great performance in game number 5. No problem on the spare. You can see it in the, at least the ball going down the lane. So big game for Todd Sim to possibly lock up his spot in the step ladders. So as soon as we get some standings for our standings after game 5, we'll certainly get those to you. They've been coming up pretty quickly after everyone finishes up. Ray Vervink of Canada, unable to strike on his first shot, leaves a 7-pin. That'll drop him into the 240s with the spare. All right, as they finish up game 5 on 35 and 36, here on our feature pairs, we're already underway in game 6, the finale of B Squad. As we're joined by bowlers from Wales, Puerto Rico, Norway, and Japan. We have 2 players plus on this, on our feature pair. Ingar Gabrielson of Norway, who will be stepping up on lane 32 in just a second. He's at 1,008. Along with Edgardo Ruiz, who will be stepping up on 33. He's at 1,003, so they're both on the right side of plus. However, I feel they're really going to have to put up a big number, maybe even get a little help along the way if they want to bowl a little bit more. As soon as we have results after 5. We will let you know. Question in the chat, are we doing any other lanes with the live stream? Unfortunately, we're going to be here behind lanes 31 through 34, so we hope we get to show as many players as we can throughout the entire week as they make their way across this 56-lane center. We'll do a little finagling for our semifinal round. But it'll be all right. But you can follow your favorite players or country by using the live scoring link in the description below the video. You can follow along game by game. All right, scores are up online through 5. Todd Sim with the big 268 game moves into the lead on B squad at 11:49. Alan Keaty not too far behind, 11:42. Andrew Frawley of Australia at 11:26. He was leading after game 4, drops all the way to 3rd. Sitting in 4th, Lowell Ellis from England at 10:89. 1 pin behind is Ron Moore of the U.S. at 10:88. So if everyone keeps up their average pace for Game 6, the final 4 would be Todd Sim from Canada, Alan Keaty from Scotland, Andrew Frawley from Australia, and John Chapman from Canada, who bowled on the early squad. But we will have to wait and see. Pressure of Game 6 coming up here. Gordon Humphreys from England is in 6th at 10:59. Ray Vervink sitting in 7th from Canada at 10:57. Then there's another 20-pin drop-off. So you can imagine a big game from any of those competitors might be enough, depending on how everyone else does. So definitely some drama here coming down to Game 6. Probably a few nervous folks as well. All right, my apologies. Looks like I had a little bit of trouble with another name. So hopefully Alan Keaty is correct, and I just jotted that down. So thanks, Laura. Todd Sim still rolling going into Game 6. First 2 strikes. Over on 27 and 28. Ron Moore, 1 pair to the left. Went double 9 spare to start. Nice shot there from Tony Santa of Puerto Rico. Looking to finish up the day in style. Now, we had a few folks asking about England in the chat room. They're actually on 35 and 36. I just noticed that. Lowell Ellis actually just delivered a shot on 35, leaving the 2-4-10 after starting with spare, strike, spare in the first 3 frames. Our A squad leader, John Chapman, walking back and forth. Probably keeping tabs on a few folks here. All while watching his Canadian teammates. Once again, both getting off to a strong start here in Game 6. Todd Sim with the first 4. And Ray Vervink looking to match. So potential of 3 Canadian players. Vervink would need a really big game to get there. Chapman looking to hold on. Sim cruising. Ron Moore just split in the 5th frame, it looks like, so that's going to definitely hurt his chances of advancing to the semifinal round for the 2nd consecutive senior championships. Ron took home the silver at the inaugural edition of the event back in 2013, also here in Las Vegas. So we've had so much going on. Just a quick introduction again of the event for anyone joining us late here on Tuesday afternoon. This is the 2015 World Bowling Senior Championships coming to you live from Sam's Town Bowling Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Aaron Smith with USBC Communications. We'll be here all week with wire-to-wire coverage here on Bowl TV, so the excitement won't be done after we finish up our 2nd block here today. We'll verify some scores, get the lanes redressed. We'll have the semifinal round starting at 5 p.m. local time, so within an hour. The semifinal is scheduled to start. We are in our final few frames here. Nice shot there by John Lambourne of Wales, mixing them up. Tony Santa of Puerto Rico stepping up on 33, working on a 3-bagger, looking to set up the foundation frame. Tony delivers. Todd Sim opened in the 5th frame after starting with 4 in a row for Vink, with 5 in a row. Lowell Ellis of England had 2 splits in the 4th and 5th frame, just had a strike there on 35. He was on the bubble and not sure if he's going to be able to put up enough with those few early opens to work his way into the top 4. I think Ron Moore of the U.S. also in must-strike territory now. Looks like his max is going to be 244. That would get him ahead of John Chapman. But that leaves little room for error. Tony Santa is going to have a nice 246 to finish up his, or with the conversion, nice 246 to finish up his day. As our feature pair just about, our feature pairs I should say, just about complete here. Nice finish for Santa representing Puerto Rico. For Vink, still has a shot at 279. He would need to be, I think, in the 260s to surpass his teammate Chapman. Todd Sims still cruising with 6 out of 7 with an open. Ron Moore gets the strike in the 8th. So we got a lot going on here. That's without knowing what Alan Keddy or Andrew Frawley are up to right now. They did have a little bit of cushion on the rest of the players going into Game 6. Ron Moore is getting ready to step up on the 9th frame over on 25 and 26. Little to no room for error from here on out. High flush. So he's going to step up with a chance to go around Chapman. For Vink, did not strike in the 8th, so his max is 259. So I don't believe he can surpass Chapman. Todd Sim still on cruise control. We'll have to see what Frawley and Keddy finish up with. Let's see who makes it to the top 4. We have our final shots from Norway and Japan here on 31 and 32. So Tadashi Ogata from Japan will have the honors of capping off our B squad here. So we have the final shot on lane 32. Perfect way to end it. Flush strike for 204. And that will wrap up the B squad. So be sure to check out the live scoring as well as the standings on worldbowling.org to see who our top 4 is going to be for the semifinals starting in approximately 45 minutes. So don't stray too far from your computer. We'll be back for the semifinal and final round of men's singles competition here at the 2015 World Bowling Senior Championships at Sam's Town Bowling Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Aaron Smith. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. And once again, we'll be right back in about 45 minutes for the finals. So don't go too far. Shaping up to be an exciting conclusion. So we'll see you briefly here on Bowl TV. Thanks again.